Hey there, fans of brotherly love wrestling. It is I, Vic Delicious.
Philly's own, the Mecca here.
It is the real McCoy, J.D.X. Justin D. Xavier. And
it's your man, CD, the fallen angel, Christopher Daniels.
Hello, boys and girls. This is your old friend RJ City.
Hey there, brotherly love wrestling. Bill Carr here.
Hey everyone, this is two-time guest Wheeler Yuta.
Two bozos from Philadelphia flapping their gums about pro wrestling this, pro wrestling that.
Which is not that unique in the grand scheme of things yet.
You are in for a treat because you're tuned in to Brotherly Love Wrestling.
Philadelphia, are you ready?
No! They said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
Welcome everybody to Brotherly Love Wrestling.
Oh, we're starting this.
Yes, the start of the show. That's how we do it.
Well, I opened the last one. I just figured I would open them from now on.
Oh, was that how it was? You could have told me.
Oh, my bad.
Let me know. I would have stepped back. So I wanted to start out. We'll get to Monday Night Raw, but I wanted to start out with NXT Deadline, which we didn't even say or talk about last week. It coming up.
Yeah, last week was a downer show.
It was. And maybe that's why, because we were so negative. We didn't bring up any of the positive.
It's so depressing. Let's start off with something good.
Well, good. Then
let's talk about AEW. Let's talk about AEW and Tony Khan. Let's go down the right path this week.
Let's talk about NXT Deadline. I put a tweet out there, and I also texted you right after I tweet, or X, whatever the fuck you want to call it. It's always going to be Twitter.
You twixt.
Yeah,
they're all Twix.
They're all Twix. It's always. And I said, this pay-per-view has made its way into my favorite pay-per-view of the year, period. And I said it could even push out SummerSlam for me out of the big four. Because now, 2 years in a row, it has completely blown me away. And
wait a minute. What are your feelings on Money in the Bank?
I like Money in the Bank a lot, but I like it more as a gimmick match, not as a pay-per-view. Same thing with the Chamber. You know, I like those matches to be on one specific pay-per-view as a gimmick match, not as a pay-per-view built around it.
They should do Money in the Bank at Mania.
I agree.
And they should do, what was the other one? Chamber at SummerSlam.
It would make me like SummerSlam more.
Yeah,
if I had a Chamber. Yeah, absolutely. But
I digress.
The gimmick of this Iron Survivor Challenge.
The penalty box.
Yeah. Last year
You're a big hockey fan. Let's preface that.
Of course. Yeah, I'm a big hockey fan, but it's not about the penalty box. It's more about the strategy that goes into being put away for a minute and 30 seconds. And
while you're in a penalty.
Yeah, obviously.
Gotcha.
After you're the one who is pinned.
They're in a box.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Yeah, very good. But your strategy going in, because you're knocking down your opponents, you're knocking down this competition and trying to get as many falls as you can in this 25-minute time limit. And that's the other thing I like. There is a set time limit. Yeah,
so it's not going over.
Exactly.
Unless they muck it up down the line where it's just like, oh, they both have the same number. We're going this. Well, they can do a sudden death.
Of course they could.
It would only extend it probably an extra 5 minutes.
Yeah. But I remember going in last year going, man, this is weird. And then coming out of it going, man, that's really a cool idea. Like, it's hard to come up with a new gimmick match in wrestling, but somehow WWE did it. I don't know who came up with it, but it was phenomenal. And now this year,
it was Road Dogg.
I mean, I'm not going to argue. It could be Michaels, could be Road Dogg, could be Regal. I don't know. It wouldn't be in Regal because he wasn't there last year. But I mean, someone was smart enough to come up with this thing. And for the second year, no, for the second year in a row, it was amazing. And the whole pay-per-view delivered. The only one that was kind of iffy to me was the cage match.
It didn't stand and deliver.
It
deadline.
I thought it stood and delivered. It was great. from top to bottom, but especially the Iron Survivor. The women were phenomenal. You couldn't beat. I thought you couldn't beat them until you got to the men, and the drama that played out with Breaker coming out and looking dominant and getting three pinfalls in a matter of like 15 to 20 seconds was ridiculous. He looked like WCW Goldberg. I mean, it's what he looked like for that little bit. And then for Trick Williams to actually fucking pull it out, I tweeted out, I'm like, my jaw is on the floor. I didn't see it coming. I really thought they were going to just keep building him as this babyface who's just missing it. And they delivered on it, and he is over. I mean, he's over.
Well, when you pull the trigger at the right time, when we say this time in and time out, that the fans want it, clearly. Yeah. I mean, it's not like a waste. It's not like a throwaway because he's not going anywhere. This is actually building towards him now being the number one contender for the title.
Yeah.
Which is Ivan Dragunov.
Dragunov is the champ, yes. Ilya.
Yeah. I knew it was something like Ilya's Pizza Dragunov.
I mean, you're closer, so yeah, sure.
Either going to be way too hot or it's going to be still ice cold in the middle. That's him. That's him. No toaster oven can contain him. That's what it is. So I can't see Trick and him being at it though. I mean, no matter what portion of WWE you're in, it's not going to be babyface versus babyface. It always feels like it's going to be heel versus babyface, unless Dragunov becomes a heel or Trick Williams becomes the heel. But he's just at the start of this run, so
well. And you have the storyline of who snuck and beat up Trick, and Lexus King took at first. It looked like he was the one. Well, after taking the loss to,
he took a loss at the barbershop too. Man.
Well. That's a different story.
That's a big
that's a different story. But when he lost to Carmelo, he got on the mic and said it wasn't me. I had nothing to do with attacking Trick. So now we don't know who it is. So I think everyone is thinking it's Carmelo, even though they kind of cleared him.
Well, Carmelo is bound for the main roster sooner, probably rather than later. He's been main roster ready for a long time.
Yes.
He's been they just need the time the perfect time. And it looks like we're going to get the time for him to debut because he's going to be in a tournament. Stop the Press is a tournament. I spoke so I spoke so ill of a tournament last week
in AEW.
Mm-hmm. For an unestablished title, for a made-up title, for storyline purposes.
It's a little. I mean, it's a tournament, so you have all rights to go in. But this isn't a made-up title. This is United States Championship. At least the title has some meaning behind it.
Either way, I feel like a hypocrite. I think it's just my blinders being on. I mean, AEW is the king of tournaments, though. Tournaments for no reason. I mean, this is going to be a tournament, and then there's going to be storyline after it. Not saying that that's not going to happen in AEW, but it just feels different.
It feels different.
It feels more important because the direction is set in WWE.
But does it feel more important because of what the ultimate goal is? Because it's the United States Championship and it's a belt we've seen for years upon years.
All right, so I'll spin it this way. So the IC in the WWF and the United States title in WCW were, and they used to be, this is what they used to mean. When you held that title, it was basically, it was an honor, one, and two, it was a stepping stone for your main push for the main title.
You were one of the top workers in the company.
Yeah.
With those
titles. Mean, besides maybe a few that held it, like you got the Rick Rudes, you got the Mr. Perfects. I mean, those are the ones that didn't really translate into major title wins. Some guys are just really strong mid-carders that can bounce around to the top as well. But, I mean, I guess that's more along the lines of what the United States title is now.
Well, look, when Triple H took over in July of last year, that was one thing that you saw, I think, on the first 2 or 3 episodes of Raw and SmackDown, was these video packages of the history of the IC and of the United States title. So it was a main point to establish the tradition behind them and try to elevate them as a high mid-card title.
They are established right now. Even with a Logan Paul holding the United States title, it's fresh.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably more relevant than it might have ever been in recent wrestling history.
Yeah.
Like Sting held the goddamn title and I'm not going to say Logan Paul is better than Sting. You could hold a gun to my head. I'm not going to say that. But for what he brings viewership wise, with eyes that are broader than wrestling, just pop culture.
Yeah.
And then you have Gunther on the other side. He just screams wrestling. He is the aura of wrestling, of professional wrestling. He basically touts of what he thinks professional wrestling is and should be. So yes, they are meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
So a tournament for a number one contendership is meaningful. It's not a made up title. So there is give and take for an argument here.
Yeah.
And it's our show, and we don't have an open phone line, so it's not like it's not like someone's gonna call in and be like, "You guys are hypocrites. I can't believe Tony Khan." Go ahead, continue.
I like that the defender of AEW sounds like a 60-year-old man who smokes too much.
Just had a stroke, apparently.
Instead of like a 20-year-old hipster that likes wrestling, you had 60-year-old man who smokes too much and had a stroke.
I got it.
Hey, bruv, you got no Riz. Tony Khan came out and jizzed in my pants.
Is that better?
That's actually a little bit better. I mean,
I used 2 terms that I don't know what the fuck they mean. And
you used them in the right context.
Did I?
You did.
Because they're made up fucking words. They're not even words. I can use them. Well, here, it's John. John can be anything. John's our word.
Yeah.
That's ours.
Absolutely.
But these other things, I don't know what the fuck they are. I don't know what they mean. You could say them. I could have said it and put it in any context. And you could say it made sense, but does it really? Either way, suffice it to say, Riz and whatever the fuck else I said has no business being in this show. We're gonna edit that out. No, we're not. I don't edit anything.
No. Yeah. So I mean, look, all in all, Dragon Lee defeat Dominic Mysterio finally. So the North American title is on Dragon Lee,
and it's back in NXT for more than just guest appearances.
Yeah. So, which is good for that championship.
You had Dom Mysterio hold it, and believe it or not, Dom Mysterio has made it even more relevant.
He has,
because he's bringing it across,
and every time you see him on Raw, he is prominently wearing that title,
and he is prominently getting booed.
Yes,
big time.
Yeah,
heat magnet.
Absolutely. Yeah,
and it's not.
Go ahead.
You're gonna love this terminology. It's not get off my TV heat.
Go ahead. Yeah, it's not go away heat. I agree. It's legitimate heat.
I don't know what that is. I'm going to be honest. I still don't know.
So,
because X-Pac heat, whatever we're calling it,
I wouldn't call it X-Pac heat. I would
call it. Baron Corbin had it but I didn't think he was get off my TV.
See, I think it depends on the individual of
who's saying it.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. Because look, I know. I won't speak for both of us. I know for a fact I was saying it about Roman. When Roman was the big dog, and they were doing the dog food segment and all that.
That wasn't heat. He wasn't trying to get heat.
Exactly, but I just didn't want to see him on my TV. I had no feeling for him. I was I just don't want to see this guy. It wasn't that, man, he's such a dick.
You didn't hate him as a person, though. You just wanted him to change, and when he eventually did, you can't get enough of him.
Yeah, I was tired of them shoving it down my mouth that he's the guy, like typically what most people hated Roman Reigns for. Yeah. I mean, and I was in the group there. That was in my head, what I thought was go away heat. I don't care. I don't want to see you. Like, walk out of the arena. I remember saying that for a Roman Reigns main event at one point. Like, I don't want.
It was probably
to
him and
see
Brock
you.
for like the 55th time.
Yeah, it was just before it was cool. Before that match actually mattered to people. That's the go
Before
away heat.
Brock bought a fucking tractor for a wall.
But and there was a period of time where Roman was getting those boos. The Dominic boos that Dominic gets now, where he can't pick up a mic. That's was a good time. Thing. Yes, it is a good thing. And that's the good heat. That's the heat that Roman had. That was after the Rumble, I think. After he won the Rumble, when everyone wanted Daniel Bryan to win, he came out on Monday and he rose the mic up to his mouth and he couldn't speak.
That's when they needed to do the turn.
I agree. And then it just lasted on forever and it never did until the pandemic and all that. But with Dominic, I don't see that. I see him as a heel, as a Punk. No one likes him. Not as, oh man, I don't want to see him on my TV. It's like, God, this kid is so spoiled, and it's a different kind of heat.
And he looks like a douche.
Yes,
which is good for him.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going with the Eddie mullet, which is great. It's tying into the Latino heat, the custody match from way back when. Like, he has come around. I mean, you can look back. You can look back when he started.
When he was babyface, it was atrocious.
It was. It absolutely was. And we were wondering how he is a legacy, yet Logan Paul, with 3 matches in, looks like the legacy, and he looks like the one just starting. Because Mysterio was god-awful when he started. It was hard to watch. And then he has come, I would love to see when he debuted and did all that, to now, it's night and day. Because he's great. And he's great for NXT, or was great for NXT when he was holding the title.
Yeah, I mean, NXT is pretty much set. I mean, they have gear set in motion. They have storylines. They have everything that they need all in place leading up to everything on the WWE NXT train is all coming into place. I mean, and they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, they have so much talent, but it doesn't feel like it's so much underutilized talent.
No, and even when you have people that aren't on TV a lot, and the perfect example is Joey Gacy. So you had his crew, and of course, Grizzled Young Vets, where their contract was up, so they left. And then you basically had Ava sitting out there and him kind of in limbo, didn't know where they were going. Now all of a sudden, Ava looks like this authority figure that makes matches. And you have Joey Gacy, who's underneath the ring, saying how people keep saying or feeling like he's below them. So now he's actually below them. And he cuts a promo underneath the ring during a match on NXT. Like, they're still getting people meaningful promos, meaningful stories.
Albeit goofy, but...
Goofy, yeah. But things that you don't see a lot of. You know what I mean? It's just... That's what I like about NXT. Very character driven. They keep going on the storylines. They're weave in and out. There's no, hey, let's throw Trick Williams against pick a guy, and that's what he's doing this week. That doesn't happen on NXT. AEW, every week, every 3 shows, there's always these random pairings thrown together. And that's where I will lose interest with AEW.
That's where the disconnect starts.
Yeah, their storytelling can be great. AEW has done it, but there's too many one-offs for me. You know, that's why NXT is better to me.
When NXT, and I really enjoyed watching it, when they were heavily focused in tag teams. When they were heavily focused and everyone was like a established tag team, even the makeshift ones that they put together, at least they held their own with the actual tag teams. Like they had when it was LAX, you had FTR, you had the Bucks, you had Lucha Brothers, Kenny and Hangman. I mean,
yeah, it was right at the beginning where everyone was
a lot. Yeah, there was a lot, and it was
that's what best friends.
Yeah, best friends. That's when it felt different. That's when it felt like there was a change because WWE lacks it. They still lack it for the most part. I mean, they still lack that tag team aspect. They broke up the best one that they had in the Usos.
Yeah.
I mean,
but they've gotten so much bigger than what their tag team is at this point.
Yeah, they kind of needed to. And they're starting to trickle in. I mean, you have Imperium, you have the Creed brothers, you have New Day still, and New Day's a staple.
You have DIY. who
Yeah.
is officially back.
Yeah, but it's not like a heavy focus. It's
No,
still
you're right.
secondary. Like tag team wrestling was running AEW and it was fresh and it was good and the matches were incredible and the storylines were good and you had the best people that weren't in WWE. Like you had them. Like WWE had like 2 of the best tag teams and you had like
the rest.
All of them.
Yeah, the rest
of them. And then when they were doing that, I mean, it felt different. And that's when I watched it the most, when it felt like tag team wrestling was more prominent. I mean, and it was better utilization of how many people they had. I mean, they didn't have as many as they ended up building in that company, but I mean, that's when it felt like different and good different. Still feels different, but not great different.
To our point last week, where we said how we were shitting on Raw when it was bad. That was the point where we were shitting on Raw and SmackDown, and we were praising AEW because that's where Raw and SmackDown, maybe SmackDown lesser, but Raw for sure was
SmackDown
hard
had a less
to watch.
hour to work with.
Yeah, but Raw, man, 3 hours was hard to get through. Now we turned to last night. I
ended up falling asleep.
I didn't realize the end of the show was coming up until they were like, okay, it's time for the main event. I was like, whoa. I was like, there's no fucking way I went through it that quick. Like, it moved. It was entertaining. There was very few fast forwards for me because I do that a lot when it comes to Raw. And it just completely flew by in a good way. It was entertaining as hell. So
all cylinders.
WWE's
you
all 3 shows.
You could say what you want about it, but they're like, to anybody who's not going to do a biased, like if you're just looking at it for what it is, they're firing on all cylinders right now. They're making you reinvest in people that you weren't invested in. Like Drew McIntyre is a perfect example. I'm 100% invested in Drew McIntyre. I like the asshole. I like the cheap shots, the fucking eye gouging, and just making the ref raise your hand is such a dick move. And not only doing that, but taking your sweet ass time to do so and just hovering down, and then raising it. It's like the nuances in wrestling that you miss that you kind of pick up on.
Yeah.
Shit like that. I mean, for me, like WWE is like at its top gear.
And it's the perfect time for it to be a top gear.
Yeah, I mean, they know how to ramp it up.
Yeah.
They do, but sometimes they don't have the arsenal to ramp it up all the way. They have everything that they need. They have literally everything they need. And there's probably people that haven't even been announced yet that probably will. I don't think this is even their full roster. I still think there's going to be a couple surprises.
Which is
you
good.
have the Rumble coming up. You have 2 Rumbles coming up.
True.
I think that there's gonna be something that just adds to the fire. Like I can see Sasha. Coming back. That's fuel.
Yeah. Big time.
And you don't know who you're gonna see on the men's side. You have Cody and Punk announced so far. And I mean, once you have those 2 announced, you're pretty much thinking, all right, who's it going to be? Which one of those 2? Who's going? And they're really laying hard into this. Someone's going to finish their story.
Everyone's saying it.
Everybody's. This is like the story time.
Yeah.
They're like, who's finishing their story? Drew McIntyre doesn't care who's finishing whose story. He's going to finish his own story. He's rewriting his story. When did they all become fucking autobiography fucking writers?
I don't know. I think, and I was waiting for, I mean, the main reason is I couldn't wait. I knew Punk was going to sign with Raw. Orton went to SmackDown, so you had to even it out. You had to put Punk on Raw. Never once did I ever think he was going to do NXT. It was just cool for him to give the rub to NXT on Saturday night and show up.
It was funny.
Yeah, and do a promo with Shawn Michaels.
A little bit.
That was great.
Yeah.
And even in Punk's promo, when he comes out and he says, 12-year-old me could have seen me cutting a promo with being in the ring with Shawn Michaels. Like,
they brought it back to Hell Froze Over where the Brett and Shawn, and then he says he made up with Triple H. It's just like a long running. Yeah. Basically, I mean, it was a big callback.
So when he signs, in my head, I'm not thinking Seth's coming out.
No,
I think a lot of people did not expect that because we thought, they're going to hold off and not give it to us.
And I texted this to Bill when we were going back and forth, our executive janitor. And I made sure I used the right amount of O's. This is a long build.
Mm-hmm.
This is exactly what you want. This is exactly what you want. I mean, Punk could have matches. That's fine. Because there's some matches that I want to see, like, right off the bat, right away. But having him and Rollins interact right now and just laying it all on the fucking table,
dude, that stare down and
it felt like a fucking MMA fight.
A part of me, like, when it first started, Pierce is like, not now, and like I literally audibly, I'm sitting in the living room going, Pierce, get out of the shot, because he's kind of angled where where hard cam is, right on them. I'm like, get the fuck out of the shot. Like, you need them two by themselves. Like, you don't want to see. And then within 2-3 seconds, he moved to the corner, and it was just those two staring. And every time they would go to each one, I would just look at their eyes.
Yeah,
and
they didn't flinch.
No one did.
It
was
flinch.
Great. I'm like, man.
Because Rollins sometimes gives you the stupid smirk or the big smile or the fucking
that
Joker
goofy
laugh.
Yeah.
But man, he held it together. It was really good. Now here's the thing, like, and this is where you're like, you're trying to look too far into it, or is this just fun to believe? And I'm leaning more towards it's fun to believe that Seth Rollins actually hates CM Punk.
I agree.
I don't want to think too much into this. I don't care. I don't care if he really hates him.
I think it's important to think that.
Yeah.
Because it goes into the story they're trying to tell. And I think
he's making it look really good.
I think on a personal level, he really does. Maybe not hate. I think hate might be a little strong word, but for this feud, I like it. But I think he completely disagrees with the human being that CM Punk has been over the past 10 years. And I think a lot of the stuff he said last night
had some validity,
was
truth,
was reality. That this is not your home. Like, no, don't call this your home. And
he built this.
He got me on Seth's side because I get it. Like, I agree with him.
8 years, 2015.
Seth has been here and he has carried the torch and he has busted his ass.
He's reinvented himself
multiple
times.
Yeah. I was like, yeah.
How he landed on this is beyond me, but
dude,
hey, it works.
And a part of me was like, yeah, fuck you. This isn't your home. Like, just getting caught up in watching this promo, I'm like, yeah, fuck him. Like, what? No, all you did was talk shit about everybody. Like, you made sure you got on Colt Comando's podcast and you made sure to run everybody the fuck down. And then you took shot after shot after shot. Remember the night 12 of the buy one, get one pay-per-view that he said to Max when he cut the promo about Mania. And now he wants to main event the same show that you cut down. Like, fuck you. So I love that part of it. But I loved how Punk was just like, this, you only get that one time to talk with me like that. And then I'm coming after you. And I was like, ooh, okay. I like that. And he didn't have to say much. No. Like, a lot of people are saying, oh, well, Seth really crushed him in that. He knows he's holding back.
He did what he needed to do.
Yeah. Seth got out what he needed to get out because you knew the first time it was going to have to be something really good for Seth.
Seth needs to.
Yeah.
Seth needs
Punk does it.
He's not, and right now he's playing favorite. He's a favorite. He's a baby.
Yeah.
He's not going to come out and be like, he's still going to be the Punk, but he's not going to be. Look, if they want to turn Punk right away, I'm okay with it.
Yeah, me too. Like, I don't know if we said this to each other or we said it on the show. I'm fully okay with them going into a storyline of him causing havoc in the back. Like, doing not AEW style and overplaying it, but being a dick to somebody or something like that. Now, I can't see that happening the way he's been interacting with everybody, and I can't see them doing that. Maybe they think that's the low road.
So here's the thing. Right now, it's a big feel out. He's just back.
Yeah.
He's the new guy. He's the new toy.
Yeah.
There's a slow build for everything. Mm-hmm. Everything that's going on is a slow build. It's a slow build to Rumble. It's a slow build to Mania. It's a slow build to the inevitability of him turning on the crowd that it's just easy. It's easy for him.
Do you think there's a possibility that Seth is the one that can be heel? Can they do Seth as heel in this situation?
Absolutely.
And how would you do it?
I don't need to think about that, but it's an easy turn. I mean, I feel like let it happen. Let the fans will decide.
Yeah.
I mean, if Seth is going to be the flag bearer for WWE, then you can't turn him yet. I mean, there's no way to turn him. If he's going to be representing, but all the crowd needs to do is get louder with them CM Punk chants, have it in more of a favorable CM Punk arena, and it'll turn real quick.
Mm-hmm.
And all Seth has to do is say, I carried you for 8 years. 8 years. This guy has been gone for 10. And 2 years later, I pick up the torch and I carry it. And this is what I get in return. CM Punk chants.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I get in return. F you.
Do you still keep his character the same way? Do you still have him?
He becomes evil.
Okay, so you don't have like the laugh, the dance.
It can still be it could be. Well, the thing is, the laugh and the dance originally started as a heel.
True.
Seth.
True.
He was arrogant.
Mm-hmm.
He was a heel.
Yeah.
Remember when he's going against McIntyre, who was uber babyface? Just wasn't working as an uber babyface.
Yeah.
Seth just happened to get more and more and more and more popular, and the chants started coming, and
Yeah, I love that. I love it.
So that's going to be hard to change.
Yeah.
Because once the fans get into it, I mean, they did it with Nakamura.
Mm-hmm.
They can do it with Seth.
Yeah. True. Didn't do it well with Nakamura. But
No, they cut off.
They
cut him off at the knees though when it came to singing the song.
They did.
Change it up.
Yeah.
Cut him off.
And he's had several music changes set. So,
yeah.
I mean, different variations.
Different variations, but
yeah.
He's not going to have a burn it down. He's not going to do anything that's fan favorite or fan friendly.
Yeah. So the last thing
he could come out to no music. That would be even healing.
Yeah. I
remember when Ziggler did it.
I liked it when Ziggler did it.
Yeah,
I liked it when Ziggler did
Ziggler.
it. Yeah, I miss him too.
What the hell do you get rid of Ziggler for? Ziggler fits in perfectly with this whole fucking roster. He fits in perfectly. Why would you get rid of Ziggler?
I don't know.
You have so much. Like, what the fuck? What did he do wrong? Nothing.
No.
You're talking about a guy that's fucking
loyal.
Mr. Fucking liable. Him and Miz.
Yeah, no, I agree.
How do you get rid? Unless he asked for it, but how the fuck do you get rid of Ziggler?
Yeah, I don't know. Something that still bothers me, but I don't know. So one last point on Rollins. There's a couple more points I want to move on to differently other than Rollins. So Rollins, Cody. I'm just gonna put a scenario to the last two.
Punk Cody.
Oh, did I say Rollins, Cody?
Rollins
My fault.
Probably
My
not
fault.
going to be in that match.
My fault.
He's already.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I meant the last point about Punk. Punk, Cody are the final two in the Rumble. Who do you have? Who needs to have?
Neither one of them.
Neither one. Yeah, well, one. If they're the final two, one of them someone's getting it. So, who basically do you need to be like this person just gets it and he earns it, and the other person we have to find a way of getting to that point? Who gets that? Is it Cody so he can go on to main event with Roman, or is it Punk who go on to main event with Rollins?
That's a tough one because they both have said they need to win it to finish their story, right?
Yes.
So how do you spin it to where
the other one gets their title shot?
Luger Brett.
Ooh. And it's been so long that you could actually, actually, let's make it a little bit more recent. Cena, Batista.
Yeah, but they had to restart the match.
True.
Luger Brett
didn't. Yeah. I wouldn't mind it ending like that. I wouldn't mind it ending like that.
I mean, it's an easy way out.
It's just so hard to do.
It's a cop out, basically.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to give them both title shots, even though neither one of them won, because if both feet hits, that means neither one of them won.
Yeah. That would be interesting. I would like to see it. I would like to see how it goes down and how it gets ironed out. I mean, obviously, for this purpose, you would give it to both of them and say,
Not necessarily.
what do you mean? Not necessarily.
I mean, this is professional wrestling. You can make anything up. So if they both hit their feet, then they both have to do. They're both Raw. They're both Raw.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, but you could pick any champion. Doesn't matter. You're both Raw.
Yeah, I know. All right, so you do this for the main event of Raw after Mania. You pick one of the two, and for them to finish their story, they have to win the gauntlet match. And if someone beats them,
You mean Raw after Rumble?
Rumble.
Okay.
Raw
Yeah, you
after-
had me confused. I'm like,
My
Raw
fault.
after Mania.
All right, you're allowed to mess up. I'm going to mess up too.
Okay.
And then the SmackDown following, the next person runs the gauntlet.
Sort of like the beat the clock challenge type thing.
Sort of, but
I
it's
mean,
it's
but
a gauntlet
gauntlet match.
Like you
Yeah,
have to pin the 5 competitors that come out.
Yeah, it's pretty creative. I like that.
Something
know.
different. I mean, they're both going to win and they're
Yeah.
both going to finish their stories, but at least you get a cool match.
If
out
you're
of it.
aside from Brett Luger finish, if you had to pick one in your eyes, who do you have winning the Rumble out of those two?
Punk.
Yeah.
Need the fresher guy in there. I mean, Cody's story isn't going to end if he doesn't win.
True.
I mean,
and
neither
look,
does Punk's.
we've been
but
saying
neither
it's-
one of them end.
We've been saying it since he lost to Roman at 39. This whole thing is Cody's hard times. So what would be more perfect for him to keep going on these hard times thing with only 2 full months away from Mania?
He's got to find his
He
way
has
to
to
Mania.
find his way to Mania. So yeah, all right. I that makes probably more sense if it is Punk, and you give Cody one more obstacle in his hard times year. Well, I like that. So
all right, so Punk wins, and then if only the Bloodline had a little bit more pop to it. Cody would have to do a gauntlet, but the Bloodline's not at full force.
No.
It's not like they got like all of them.
Yeah.
Like it'd be different if you had to go through Sammy, Jay, Jimmy, Solo, and then Roman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I can't wait. I'm so happy it's ramping up. I can't wait.
It's just interesting because here's the thing: this is all speculation. We don't
Yeah.
know what's actually going to happen. I still think Okada's coming.
I kind of hope you're right.
Well, here's the thing, though: if this could go till Rumble, where Nakamura just tortures.
I hope it does.
Tortures Cody, and Okada's in the Rumble. And that's how he's announced. And Nakamura comes out with him. Nakamura's music's hit, and he brings out the chaos.
I know you're really hanging on to that point in that promo.
I know. I know. I like subtleties.
I know.
Because subtleties can turn into actuality.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. There's still a lot.
There's a reason he
lot of
said
time.
it.
I don't think there is. I think
God damn it.
I think you're reading too much into it.
No.
But I hope you're right.
I'm
Because
not
I think
reading
it'd be
far,
fun.
I'm not reading far enough into it.
I want to talk about a promo that I don't know if a lot of other people are talking about, but it actually got me invested in something I didn't think I was going to be invested in.
Can't wait to hear this one.
And that's Becky Lynch and Nia Jax.
Oh, Jesus.
Because, again, I'm a sucker for a story. There is already
History.
a story there.
Yeah.
Yes, there's history behind it. The WWE, if you didn't remember or you were a newer fan, you didn't know what happened. They show the punch that broke Becky's nose and bust her open and
That
made her
skyrocketed her to superstardom and to get the company and the fan base behind her so much that she was going to wrestle the main event of WrestleMania
and become Becky Two Belts.
And win.
Yes. So having those two out there, I know a lot of fans are the same way. Roll your eyes when you see Nia Jax, especially if she grabs a microphone.
Well, here's the thing, though. At least it gives her something to do.
Yeah.
And not only that, but you want her to lose because she's going against Becky. Like, she's like ultra heel.
Yeah. Which she's been trying to establish. And
well, you establish
all
it.
right.
Well, it's because she's not in there with. I mean, the match with Shayna, she solidified that one pretty well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't like when Shayna gets beat that handedly, but I mean, Becky will help this.
My favorite.
But she might have to win to really.
Yeah, you're right. And I wouldn't mind if it went a little longer to where Becky finally gets one up on Nia and finally gets over. But my favorite part of it, which really locked me in, is Becky just saying, "Go ahead, come on, do it again. I dare you to do it again." And Nia just subtly going to do it and then be like, "No, because you need this, I don't." And walking out and getting one over on Becky and making her look like, I made you. Like, that's why you want me to hit you. Like, I'm not doing it. I'm not making you again. Why? So because now you want to get back up to WrestleMania? No, I'm not making you again. Not on your time, on my time. I'll do it. Like, I loved that part of it. It made me go,
They might have to beat her.
Yeah.
So Nia Jax beats her and wrestles Rhea at Rumble. And that way you don't have to see her in the goddamn Royal Rumble.
Maybe, yeah. I think the women's Royal Rumble is probably way more
open-ended.
Yeah, way more open-ended because anything could happen with the women. There's just so many.
You have Io and you have Rhea, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think Bailey wins the Rumble.
I think a lot of people are basically talking about the demise of Damage Control.
Bailey's never won a Rumble, has she?
No,
Charlotte has.
Yeah, I don't think
Becky
she has.
Asuka.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, I don't. Did Bianca? You said Bianca?
No, I think Bianca.
Bianca, I think won. Yeah, I don't. I'm pretty sure Bailey has never won the Rumble.
Bailey's earned it.
Yeah, so I think this might be her year.
Wouldn't it be great if Bailey was like one of the. I mean, Bailey was in there, and then Sasha came out, and she went to give Sasha a hug, and Bailey to her over the top.
I honestly, if that were to happen, I wouldn't want Bailey to win.
Why?
Because I'd want Bailey Sasha.
No.
I'd want. I'd want.
Sorry, Bailey.
I'd want that because I know how absolutely amazing the Brooklyn and the takeover matches were. Like, they were fucking ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing, though. I don't remember who we were talking with it. I honestly don't. But they were saying like they have the potential to just make the ultimate dream card.
They do. 100% they do.
WrestleMania will just be 2 nights of absolute dream card matches.
Look, you still have, and I was actually thinking about this watching Raw. There was a commercial break, and they were doing something and talking about Mania. Oh, they promoted the all the other events that are at the Wells Fargo Center. And I started thinking about that, and I'm like, man, we have so much time, even though it's close and it's the road to WrestleMania, and we got Rumble right around the corner. There's so much time of so many stories that are going to come together that we don't even know what's coming yet. And we've been calling or booking Mania since we got tickets.
I think everybody has.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody's been putting together mock
cards. Look, we could still have KO and Sammy. We could still have Jay versus Jimmy. Like, there is so much shit.
You got a Logan Paul floating around. You got a Gunther floating around.
Bad Bunny might peek his head.
He might be in the Rumble. I don't know if he's going to be in the at WrestleMania.
Dude, what he did for them in Puerto Rico and what the draw that he had, you have to believe he's going to do something at Mania. Rumble, yes, I agree.
I
can definitely see that.
You have a potential of a cash-in still.
Yeah. Look, and Priest made that pretty clear on Raw last night when Punk walked up. And he said, if you finish your story, I'm going to be there to do mine. And put the Money in the Bank briefcase right in Punk's face. So, yeah, everyone, I mean, look, there are times I forget that he has it until he does things like that. Like, oh shit,
Oh, it's
man.
always lingering in the back of my mind. I'm waiting for it. I don't know when they just got so much going on right now. I don't know when the perfect time's going to be. I don't think there is a perfect time. You just got to pull the trigger.
Someone made a picture, a meme that I scrolled across on Facebook, and it's Cody sitting in the ring after 39, and they superimposed Judgment Day behind him on the ramp, and Damian is holding the WWE title, undisputed title, and it says right after Cody finishes his story, Priest cashes in and wins the title. And I was like, holy, can you imagine that stadium if that happens Sunday night? If Cody finally fucking wins it, the crowd goes ape shit.
I think they'll go ape shit for a cash in too.
They would.
I think that.
Yeah.
I think everybody likes seeing a cash in.
Mm-hmm. Especially in the main event of WrestleMania.
I mean, that's what made Seth Rollins.
And it could make Priest.
It could.
He's already skyrocketed from where he was in NXT to now. That would, holy shit.
You need to create him. I mean, he's on the back. He's almost, I think he's over 40, or he's at 40, or he's right on the
41.
Cusp. Yeah. So
41.
I mean, he doesn't work like a crazy style, but
no.
There's so much they can do right now.
Yeah.
There's just so much they can do.
It's gonna be so fun the next 4 months, 4.5, give or take. Like, it's incredible where WWE is, like you said.
Just give me Punk Balor. That's what I want.
Punk Balor. That's
not just for a match only.
Yeah.
Just give me a match only. That's what I want the first match to be. Punk Balor. I wanted
on
Punk
TV.
Styles.
Yeah.
The Styles is on SmackDown. He's not back yet. But give me Punk Balor.
They announced his first match in WWE,
great if he does
though.
Wait, who? What?
They announced Punk's first match, but it's not on TV.
Live event?
Yeah.
Was it Madison Square Garden?
Yes.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. December 26th at Madison Square Garden.
And that probably sold out immediately. If it was.
I don't know. I assume it is, but so, and did you hear what Triple H did for the talent?
No.
He
Put
gave
them
them
Ritz-Carlton.
No. He gave them the full week
Put
off.
them up at the the hotel from Home Alone. Ding dang dong.
The Plaza Hotel. That's a nice fucking hotel. No, he gave them the whole week off of Christmas.
Wow, that's
until
first
from
Madison Square Garden
19th through the 25th. There will be no WWE events.
That's good.
Yeah, absolutely.
That means that fucking live show is going to be
crazy.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you imagine you get a week off, you get to spend time with your family, and then the first show back is fucking Madison Square Garden. I'm kind of jealous to whoever's going because that's going to be ridiculous.
Scott just makes endless money. He's going to be there. He's going to send a picture. Like, here I am, 15 rows up. Drinking my fucking weird IPA. Having a good time. Wear my Will Ospreay shirt because I'm eccentric. I love you, Scott. Who's his first match? Jesus, get to it.
Dominic.
Really?
Dominic. Yeah. CM Punk.
It was the right group, wrong guy.
Yeah. CM Punk versus Dominic Mysterio at Madison Square Garden on December 26th. So, look, again, we just said how much of a heel he is. You put him with CM Punk, who couldn't be more face at this point.
He's just CM Punk.
Yeah,
he's gonna get a chance.
We only have, obviously, it's Tuesday, so we have one more full week till Christmas. So, I guess they're taping SmackDown and Raw for that week.
Yeah,
and then and then we'll get SmackDown Live right before New Year's. Will be the first.
That's a crazy
television
show to go to. You said December 26th.
Yeah, that's a Tuesday. It's a Tuesday night in New York. Yep.
It's a far trip.
I mean, we've been right there.
Yeah, it's true.
Right at
fucking
Manhattan Center.
Train station lets you right off in front of it.
Yeah. But
Tuesday. Well, you're off that whole week.
I am. It's gonna be nice. Yeah, I can't wait to be off.
I
So
wonder how much time I have left.
look, so I mean, you get your time reset as of January. All right, so you're good for Mania then. But
Even if I'm not, I'm taking a day off after.
yeah, I'm definitely already putting in for Friday.
Oh, you're taking off Friday and Monday?
I think I'm going to do Friday and Monday.
That's not a bad idea.
I was thinking because
What are you doing Friday?
I don't know. I just kind of want the option open, to be honest. Like, I just want the option. I thought about Monday, Tuesday instead of Friday, Monday.
Yeah, well, what's the point of doing that? Unless we can somehow snag tickets
to Raw. Yeah, we got plenty of time to take off, so it all depends. But Monday is already cemented.
Let's take off March 4th to April 28th.
I don't know if our jobs would like that very much.
I'm taking off for WrestleMania. It's not for another month. It doesn't matter. But why are you taking off a month after? It's silence.
Well, I think that'll wrap it up for now. We have NXT tonight currently airing on USA. Dynamite, I just don't have the interest with this tournament going on. I still am interested in the Devil storyline. I want to see where that goes.
I just don't want it to be a letdown.
I'm praying it's not a letdown. I'm praying it's not fucking Tony Khan.
If it's,
I'm kind of praying it's not Britt Baker. I'm hoping.
Pray for it to not be Tony Khan, because those three letters will never be mentioned on this show by me ever again.
If it's Tony Khan.
If it's Tony Khan. Never again.
Although I said it either last show or the show before, I fully believe it's Adam Cole.
Just pray it's anybody but Tony Khan. I don't give a shit who the fuck it is. If it's Tony Khan, this AEW will never be mentioned by me on this show again. It will have lost me, and I will be personally calling MJF to fucking get him over.
Recruit him to WWE.
I'll pay him to be off of that show at this point.
I don't think you have the money to pay him.
It doesn't matter. You're wasting your time over there, buddy. Come hang out with me. I'll make the big bucks. Pay you $3. Come do my yard work.
So we hope you enjoyed the show. Thanks for watching and listening. And we'll be talking to you next week.
Yes,
with
next week.
A lot of guests.
Yeah, we got a bunch going on next week. So it's the show before Christmas for us.
Yeah.
And we have cut a deal. Yes, you heard it here first. We've cut a deal. We're going to say almost a guarantee. I'm going to put it at the 98th percentile with Fight Pro.
Mm-hmm. As we said last week, we'll be partnering, something like that.
It'll be something or the other. I don't know if it's a partner deal. There was no handshake agreement or anything like that, so I'm not going to throw that out there like a deal. But we will be hosting various talent monthly before their shows, and next week just so happens to be a full squad, a goon squad. So the goons, in the fullest, will be joining.
I can't wait.
Brotherly Love Wrestling. And one can only imagine how it's going to go, or what's going to happen, or what we're even going to talk about, because we don't know.
No, with the goons all together. Look, we had Killian.
There's puppets now.
There's a puppet now. Yeah,
puppets.
We had Killian on, and we've had Big Dust on.
We should make sock puppets, so we can let
our own Mr. Sockos. Is that what you're saying?
The whole show will just be done by puppets.
I mean,
you can't commit, but I can.
I mean, you have a puppet?
No, I'll make one. Oh, I do have a puppet. His name's
really?
Henry. It's a penguin.
Really?
Yeah, it's Quinn's.
Oh.
And I have a voice for him, too.
Oh, my goodness. That doesn't surprise me. The only thing close to a puppet is I have a...
I have a giraffe, too. You can be the giraffe.
I have Peanut from Jeff Dunham.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I have a Peanut that... Yeah.
Well, for all those who have allergies, they can't watch the show.
Oh, Jesus. Bam! Anyway, so look forward to next week when we talk to the goons. Our last show before Christmas will be looking a little festive.
We hope everyone gets the memo.
I talked to
I know.
Ernie.
I saw it.
So we'll see.
That doesn't mean the message has been relayed.
That's true, but we'll see if they show up in at least maybe Ernie.
Christmas
Ernie
garments.
Ernie did say that he has something he could wear. Will we definitely maybe I'll do something Christmas.
Get the lights
back here. Yeah, I'll just well look, we'll have to switch up our window behind us and do something festive behind us.
You should put Vigor the Carpathian behind us. Ghostbusters reference? No,
I got it. Just I don't know what it has to do with Christmas, but I mean John McClane in the air duct.
So I heard a side tangent before we.
So
there was it was actually a legitimate. No, I don't know how legitimate, but they said if you consider Home Alone a Christmas movie, which you do, then you have to consider Die Hard a Christmas movie.
Are we going to go into this debate on our show? I mean,
no, we're not going to go
long enough.
I'm going to leave it at that.
What can I?
Die Hard.
I want to.
Die Hard is just a grown-up version of Home Alone,
except with guns and killing.
A grown-up version of Home Alone. It's an adult. Kevin McAllister grew up to be John McClane.
So I'm very traditional when it comes to Christmas.
I know.
Very traditional.
You're a Grinch.
And what? What? No.
This shitter's full. Come on, hurry up.
That's the no. My stance is if you're gonna say it's a Christmas movie, cool, good for you. I'm done debating it. I just don't think throwing people out of buildings and shooting them with.
Would it be better if they sang "Fa La La La" if they were falling out the window?
No, I just think killing people.
Feliz Navidad.
It's not a Christmas movie if you're killing people. Like that's like slapstick comedy is completely different than shooting someone with a machine gun.
It's not a child-friendly Christmas movie, but what about for the adults that enjoy a little Christmas killing?
There's plenty of Christmas movies that adult look. Elf, you don't enjoy Elf?
Well, that's more for kids. But that
Elf is for I wouldn't. It's
kids
a
love
Christmas
Elf.
movie.
It's a Christmas. I'm not going to say it's not a Christmas movie.
Vacation's not for kids. It's one of the greatest Christmas movies. Period.
Yeah, but it's not like
I just can't get behind the killing being a part of a Christmas movie. That's the only thing I have. And that Bruce Willis out of his mouth said Die Hard is not a Christmas movie. That's all I need. Don't give a shit who wants to debate me. Bruce Willis said it's not. Going with Bruce Willis.
Which Bruce? He's been hitting the head a lot.
No, this was years ago.
All right.
It's before all his
drinking.
ailments. No, he was sober.
I don't know about that. Do you know this? Did you breathalyze him?
I did not.
And we don't know that for a fact.
No,
we don't know it.
But anyway,
it's still up for debate. Friends,
unfortunately, it really
friends and foes alike. We will catch you next week, where we will probably not do a lot of talking, which is good for us, and it's good for you.
Yeah,
enjoy the weekend.
Yes. See you later.